so this is an overall view of my MAC brush collection. I have them sitting on top of my dresser, and the dresser is what I used to do my makeup on, so it's very dirty, so please excuse. Okay, first we're going to start with the 163 brush, which is a pretty interesting yet complex brush to me. What I use this for is to contour the hollows of my cheek, and I don't too much grab for this too often because it is extremely hard to blend out that harsh line because this brush is super dense. I would say that this is more for the makeup professionals rather than a beginner or just, you know, an everyday girl who does makeup, unless, you know, you just have some extreme skill. It's a pretty difficult brush, so it just sit there and look pretty. The next one is the 150, which is a face brush. I grab for this brush quite often because it is super soft. It gives excellent application, a flawless look. I really do like this brush a lot, and yeah, it's just an amazing brush. It's a must-have. The next one is the MAC 129 brush. This right here is a blush brush that I reach for every time I do my makeup, a full face of makeup. Like the 150, it is very soft and it gives a really nice application because the hairs are just so soft. Next is my 128 brush. This one is a limited edition brush, however they do bring out this type of brush quite often with different collections, most recently in the Alluring Aquatic collection. This brush is a split fiber brush. One side is natural hair and the other side is synthetic. This brush, you really do get the bang for your buck because this is multi-use. You can use it for blush, you can use it to apply your liquid foundation, you can also use it, if you cinch it a little bit, to contour your cheeks, and you can also use it as a highlighter. It's small enough to fit right at the top of your cheekbone. So this is a really nice brush, and if it comes back into stock, you most definitely want to grab it because it is amazing. You are paying for one brush that has about 3 or 4 different uses, so I definitely suggest this for beginners. The next one is the 159 brush. This brush is a dual fiber brush. It is great for blush or maybe even highlighter. I use it as a highlighter. I don't really grab too much for it, only because the bristles are just not as soft and it's kind of hard to clean with these types of brushes because the white hair, it's really hard to clean. But the next brush is the 130. This is another one of my favorite brushes because it's super dense. What I like to use it for is to blend in my moisturizers. Sometimes I use it as a foundation brush because it's super dense, so it really does give like a full coverage. But being that the hairs are white, it's really hard to clean. This is a dual fiber hair brush, but I mean, it's a really good brush overall, and I do reach for it almost every day that I do makeup. Love this brush. Next is the MAC 109. This brush I use to contour my cheeks. Although it is extremely dense, it's fluffy enough to where you don't have a hard time blending out those harsh lines when you contour. And it's just a really cute, nice brush. I really do like this brush. Next is the 224 brush. This right here is a fluffy blending brush that is pretty popular. I myself don't really like to grab for it too often. I kind of prefer Sigma's version of this because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's not really that many hairs on here. It doesn't really get the job done for me, but a lot of people do like this brush. Next is the 249 brush. I love this brush. This is my most favorite brush of just all time because I don't know what type of fibers these are, but this does an amazing job at carving out my eyebrows using a concealer. It can be a thick concealer, it can be a more water-based concealer. Whatever it is, this brush does the job for me without me having to do too much work. I use this brush almost every day. I really do love this brush. I would suggest anyone to pick up this brush if you're looking for a brush to sculpt your eyebrows with. This is an amazing brush. I love it. It's my favorite. The next one I'm showing you is the MAC 234. This brush is another split fiber brush. It's a little bit dirty, so please excuse that. I don't really grab for this brush too much, but I really like to use it as a backup brush for my 217. It doesn't really do quite as good of a job as the 217 does, but it's a great alternative, you know, if need be. So the next one is the 235. This one is a eyeshadow brush, I guess like for all over the lid. I really do like this brush only because it's super big, like the head is really fat, and what I like to use it for is on one side I can apply my paint pot, and then on this side I can blend it out, or I can apply my paint pot, blend it out, and then on this side I can move forward with putting on the eyeshadow. I really do love this brush. The next brush that I have is the 239. This is the very first MAC brush that I purchased. I've had this for about 4 years now, and I really do like this brush. I don't really grab for it too often because, once again, the hairs of the brush are white and it's really hard to clean, and I don't want to I just have this thing about staining the hairs of my brushes, so I do reach for it like with my lighter colors, but when it comes to like doing smoky eyes and things, I don't touch this brush. This is highly recommended for my beginners, and it's a really great brush. I love it. The MAC 214 brush. This brush is great for smudging out the color along the eyelid, the lower lash line, the top lash line, what have you. I really do like this brush. I don't reach for it too often because I'm not doing smoky eyes this time of the year, but this to me is just a must-have because it's super dense and it gets the job done. It's just a really nice brush. It's definitely one of my essential brushes, and I definitely recommend it for beginners. Next is the 252 brush. I really like it because, once again, it's multi-use. What I usually use it for is to apply and blend out my paint pots, and from time to time I'll use it as like an all over the lid color, and I also use it for to highlight up under my brow bone. But this is a really nice brush. I think that this is a definite must-have for all my beginners out there. So yeah, this is a really great brush. Love it. Right here is the 204 spoolie brush. To be honest with you guys, you know, I mean, unless you must have almost every MAC brush like me, I would definitely pass on this. I don't grab for this hardly ever. I almost always use my Spoolie by Sonia Kashuk, and that's because the bristles on this brush it's just, you can hear it. It's really hard. It kind of hurts to comb my eyebrows with this. I have to be very light-handed when I'm using this, and not only that, this thing is like extremely thin. I just feel like I can just break it. So I probably wouldn't recommend this as a beginner brush, but if you're just an absolute brat like me and have to have every MAC brush, you would definitely need it for your collection because there is no other MAC brush like this. So yeah, get your little skinny stuff over there. This bad boy is the 215 brush. This brush is a larger version of the 214 brush, and this is the smudger brush I just showed you. This brush is excellent at packing on that color without you doing much work. I would definitely suggest this to any and everybody. I really do love this brush. No use of zooming up on this brush because, as you can see, I've had this for about 4 years as well, and the MAC sign and the numbers have rubbed off. What I do now is I put a clear polish. As soon as I get my brushes, I put the clear polish on there to protect the name, because I mean, this is not, doesn't look too great. Nevertheless, this has got to be the #1 blending brush like of all time. This brush is so bomb. You really do need this brush like yesterday. I say that because it gives a flawless application of blending work. It's just a really great brush to have. It's super soft. And you know what? I've had this brush for 4 years now, and it just gets softer and softer over time. It really does. Like, I need to buy some more of these because the dupes that I have within my collection are just nothing like it. I really do love this brush. This is beginner recommended, a professional recommended. I mean, of course, you know, you have your dupes out there, but to be honest with you, there's really nothing like it. So it's worth every penny that you pay. Okay guys, so we're just about done. Bear with me please. So this right here is the MAC 195. I really do like this brush. I don't reach for it too often. I say it's probably like my second best when it comes to sculpting my eyebrows with the concealer. I really do like this brush because of the way that it's shaped. It makes it easy for me to hit that arch and then finish off the brow. It's a really good brush. I really do recommend this brush. Next is my 212 brush. This brush I also use to define my brows. You know, like I said before, it's not, you know, my #1 brush for my eyebrows, but nevertheless, it really is a good brush to use. It's a little harder to use because of the way that it's shaped. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, beginner friendly, but it's still a really good brush, and you can also use it to apply, you know, color to the lower lash line. It's a very nice brush. Number 242. I really do like this brush. I mainly use this brush for pigments. It picks up the pigment really well, and I like to use it on the inner corner for, like, you know, the very inner corner, and not the tear duct, but just the inner corner. It gets up in that inner corner really good. It's a very nice brush. MAC number 286. This brush is a must-have. It is a dual fiber brush. What I use this for is to apply and blend out my paint pots, and also for under eye concealer or whatnot, and it just blends incredibly. I really do love this brush. I highly recommend it for any and everyone. It's a really great brush to have in your collection. The infamous 266. Okay, I wouldn't say that this guy is infamous, but I've heard so many good things about this brush that I had to get it. I recently picked this up, and what I use is I use this brush to fill in my eyebrows. I know it's multi-use, very versatile. A lot of people may use it for, you know, the wing liner. I'm not good when it comes to wing liner using brushes. I'm still working on that, but I really do like to use this to form and fill in my brows. So, and what I really don't like about it is that, once again, it's super skinny. It's skinny like this guy. These things for, like, I think I paid like $20. No, somewhere between $19 and $22 for these guys, and I'm just like, really, MAC? Why could you have not made this thing thicker? I could like really break this, so I have to be really careful when using her. I really do love her, and I would definitely suggest this brush for beginners. So now we're just going to go over the very few limited edition brushes that I picked up within the time of me filming my last video. So we're going to start with the Riri Hearts MAC collection, and this one was the, oh my gosh, I believe this one was the holiday one. Forgive me if it was not. And this is the 282 SE. I don't really remember what that stands for, but I know it's just something dealing with how small it is. There's another one, and this is the 187. I guess it's short I don't know what the E stands for, God help me. Both of these brushes I've had for quite some time now, and you know what? They are so cute. I do not want to use these brushes because, as I said before, with the dual fiber brushes, it's incredibly hard to clean these brushes and get all of the product out. Now, these are not that dense, so it shouldn't be that hard. But then again, the tops of this brush these brushes are pink tinged, which is super cute, and I just don't want to, you know, take the chance at messing that up. Another thing with these brushes it's highly rumored that the limited edition brushes are machine made. From the things that I've heard, that, you know, they're not as of great quality as the regular collections, I guess I can say. Nevertheless, still super cute. This brush is the double-ended 217 and 239. Now, I know for a fact that what they say about the limited edition brushes being machine made is somewhat true, because this brush feels nothing like this one. Like I said, this one has gotten softer over the years, and this one, it feels cheap. I've actually stopped using this because I'm not getting the results as this one would. Remember, I told you guys that this is the best blending brush, and to even call this a 217, it's kind of a joke because it doesn't do the same job. As far as the 239 side of it, I really do like this one because it's a lot more denser than the regular one. This is a regular 239. Sorry, it's a little bit out of focus. As you can see, it's a lot more dense, so it will pick up more product. And as far as this one, yeah. So I also picked up the brushes that came with the Alluring Aquatic collection. This one here is the 233. And the larger one is the 127. Both of these brushes are split fiber brushes. You know what? I haven't really used these brushes yet. I just got these brushes maybe not even a month ago. So these are my newest babies. And what I'm thinking about using this for is maybe a highlight. I don't know. But I really do like the idea of this brush because, once again, I can apply a base of some sort and then follow up with an eyeshadow. So I'm very pleased with these brushes, and look, they are super cute. They are my favorite color, which is teal. So I really do love these. What I like to use to clean my brushes is this Equate Deep Moisture Body Wash. For $4 you get a big old liter of this stuff, and I really love this because it really digs deep into the bristles and get out all of that gook and product and foundation, and it leaves the brushes super soft afterwards. No, I do not wash my brushes with baby shampoo or olive oil because I find that with the dual fiber brushes, you know, the ones with the white hair, it just does not get out the product no matter how many times I wash it. So instead, I've tried this, and this is way better for me. If you would like to see a how I wash my brush video, feel free to thumbs up or comment below, and I will definitely do a video. What I like to do after I wash my brushes is I like to use these brush guards. You can buy these I bought mine on Amazon because you get way more, or eBay, or you know, if you don't feel safe with ordering online, you can always purchase them at Walmart. But what I usually do is after I wash them is take this and I squeeze it on in there like so. And what this does is cinches the brush so that when it dries, as you can see, it has those little holes. The brush lasts longer, yada yada yada. I like to store my brushes by keeping them in this little purple, somewhat see-through container that I picked up from Walmart. It's by London, Soho, New York, and I keep them like this in this upright position. a lot of the times, or all the time, they do get a little dusty. So before I go to use these brushes, I do spritz them with some alcohol and wipe them off in about 30 seconds. They're dry and they're ready to use. For my double-ended brush and the brushes with the shorter handle, what I like to do is store them in this thing here while I keep all of my other brushes that has like the double end, or the ones that are very small. And what this does is protect the brush, because if I put the brush in like this into that container thing, it's gonna mess up the bristle. So I just like to keep them here with all of the other shorter or double-ended brushes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Please don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!